Gunsmoke cast then and now. 2026. Who is still alive after 70 years? When Gunsmoke premiered in 1955, Dodge City became more than a town on television. For millions of American families, it became a place they returned to every week. Marshal Matt Dillon stood in the street. Miss Kitty waited at the Long Branch. Doc, Chester, Festus, and the rest of the cast became familiar faces in living rooms across the country. But 70 years later, most of those faces are gone. Some carried real war wounds. Some left before one role could define them forever. One became a movie superstar after Dodge City. And one familiar face is still alive in 2026. Stay until the end, because the final name answers the question many Gunsmoke fans still ask today. Who is still alive after 70 years? Number 1 is James Arness as Marshal Matt Dillon. For many fans, Gunsmoke begins with James Arness walking into the street of Dodge City. He was tall, quiet, steady, and almost impossible to replace. As Matt Dillon, he became the kind of lawman people wanted to believe in. Strong enough to face danger, but restrained enough not to enjoy violence. When CBS was looking for its marshal, John Wayne helped point the producers toward Arness. That one recommendation helped shape 20 years of television history. But behind Matt Dillon's calm walk was something real. During World War II, Arness was badly wounded at Anzio. His leg never fully healed, and the slight limp some viewers noticed across the years was not acting. That makes his performance feel different now. The man who played America's steady Western hero already knew pain, discipline, and silence before he ever wore the badge. James Arness passed away in 2011 at the age of 88. For fans who watched Gunsmoke with parents, grandparents, brothers, or sisters, Matt Dillon was not just a character. He was a symbol of old television honor, the kind of quiet strength many people still miss. Number 2 is Amanda Blake as Miss Kitty Russell. If Matt Dillon gave Dodge City its law, Miss Kitty gave it a heart. Amanda Blake played her with warmth, intelligence, and command. In the Long Branch Saloon, Kitty was not just standing in the room. She owned the room. For television in the 1950s and 1960s, that mattered. Miss Kitty was elegant and feminine, but she was also independent. She could hold her ground in a town full of armed men without losing her grace. And then there was Matt Dillon. Their unspoken love became one of the great unfinished romances in classic TV. The show never gave fans the ending many wanted, and maybe that is why people still remember it. Some feelings stay with us because they were never fully said. After leaving Gunsmoke, Amanda Blake devoted much of her later life to animal welfare, especially wild cats. It was a quieter chapter, but it showed the same quality fans loved in Miss Kitty: strength mixed with compassion. Amanda Blake passed away in 1989 at the age of 60. For fans looking back after 70 years, Miss Kitty is remembered as the woman who made Dodge City feel human. Tell us in the comments. When you think of Miss Kitty, what comes back first? The Long Branch, her strength, or the way she looked at Matt Dillon? Sometimes one look from an old TV show can stay with us longer than a whole speech. Number 3 is Burt Reynolds as Quint Asper. This is where the story suddenly picks up speed. Before Smokey and the Bandit, before Deliverance, before Burt Reynolds became one of the biggest movie stars in America, he spent 3 seasons in Dodge City. On Gunsmoke, Reynolds played Quint Asper, a blacksmith with quiet strength and a serious presence. He was young, rugged, and already had the screen charm that would later make him famous far beyond television. At the time, Reynolds was rebuilding his life after football injuries ended the future he once imagined for himself. Acting became the road he had not planned, and Gunsmoke gave him a place to grow in front of the camera. After Dodge City, his career exploded. Deliverance made audiences see him differently. The Longest Yard and Smokey, and The Bandit turned him into a box office force. Later, Boogie Nights reminded critics that the talent had always been there. Burt Reynolds passed away in 2018 at the age of 82. His story adds a special kind of nostalgia to this Gunsmoke then and now journey. The surprise of seeing a future superstar before the mustache, before the fast cars, and before the whole country knew his name. Number 4 is Dennis Weaver as Chester Good. Before Festus, many fans remembered Chester. Dennis Weaver gave Chester a voice, a walk, and a loyalty that became instantly recognizable. His stiff-legged limp was not an accident. Weaver created it for the role, and it became one of the strongest memory triggers from the early years of Gunsmoke. Chester was not the fastest gun in Dodge City, and he did not need to be. He gave Matt Dillon devotion, humor, and a human sidekick the audience could care about. But Weaver also understood the danger of being remembered for only one role. He left Gunsmoke in 1964 before Chester could swallow the rest of his career. That decision worked. He later found major success with McCloud and gave a memorable performance in Steven Spielberg's Duel. Away from acting, he became known for environmental causes and a life built around conservation. Dennis Weaver passed away in 2006 at the age of 81. His story reminds us that leaving a beloved role is not always rejection. Sometimes it is survival. Number 5 is Ken Curtis as Festus Haggen. When Chester left, Gunsmoke needed a new kind of deputy. Ken Curtis gave the show Festus Haggen, a scruffy, stubborn, funny, and deeply loyal man who became one of the most beloved faces in Dodge City. Festus had a voice no fan could forget. It sounded rough, nasal, and country to the bone, but that was the performance. In real life, Ken Curtis was a trained singer with a smooth voice. Before becoming Festus, he had already built a strong career in Western music. That contrast makes the character even more impressive. Curtis did not simply put on a costume. He built a whole person: the walk, the voice, the humor, and the stubborn heart. For fans who watched the later years of Gunsmoke, Festus was not a replacement anymore. He became family. Ken Curtis passed away in 1991 at the age of 74. If these old television memories still matter to you, subscribe and join us. We make then and now celebrities videos about the actors, actresses, and classic shows many of us grew up watching. Number 6 is Milburn Stone as Doc Adams. After the faster stories of Chester, Festus, and Burt Reynolds, Doc Adams brings the pace back down. In a town full of guns, Doc gave Gunsmoke something quieter: conscience. Milburn Stone was already 51 when Gunsmoke began on television. By then, he had spent decades working through small roles, bit parts, and B-movies before finally finding the character that made him unforgettable. That is part of why Doc felt so real. He was not polished like a young star. He felt lived in. He had the sharp tongue of a man who had seen too much and the soft heart of someone who still showed up whenever people needed him. In a Western built around danger, Doc Adams reminded viewers that Dodge City also needed healing. Milburn Stone passed away in 1980 at the age of 75. For fans looking back now, Doc was more than the town doctor. He was the voice that made Dodge City feel human. Number 8 is Roger Ewing as Thad Greenwood. Roger Ewing played Deputy Marshal Thad Greenwood in the 1960s. His time on Gunsmoke was shorter than most of the cast, but fans remembered him as one of the young faces who helped carry Dodge City into a new era. What makes his story warm is that Ewing had grown up watching Gunsmoke before he ever joined it. A fan of the show became part of the show. Roger Ewing passed away in 2025 at the age of 83. His passing made the question in this video feel even more meaningful. After 70 years, who is still alive from the world of Gunsmoke? Number 9 is Buck Taylor as Newly O'Brien. And now we come to the final name in this journey. Buck Taylor joined Gunsmoke in 1967 as Newly O'Brien, a young gunsmith who eventually became a deputy marshal. He arrived in the later years of the series, when Dodge City had already become part of American television memory. For many viewers, Newly represented a younger generation stepping into a town already full of legends. Buck Taylor came from a show business family, served in the United States Navy, studied art, and brought a quiet, respectful presence to Gunsmoke. After the series ended, he continued working in westerns and later appeared in projects like Tombstone, Hell or High Water, and Yellowstone, but acting was only part of his life. Taylor also became a respected Western artist, painting cowboys, horses, Native American scenes, and the American West that Gunsmoke helped keep alive in people's imagination. As of 2026, Buck Taylor is still living. That matters because after 70 years, he is one of the last familiar links to the world of Gunsmoke. The streets were built on a soundstage, but for fans, they became real through the people who walked them. And Buck Taylor still carries a piece of that town with him. The lesson from his story is simple. Legacy is not only what you appear in. Sometimes legacy is what you continue to honor after the cameras stop rolling. So, who is still alive after 70 years? From the core group we remembered today, Buck Taylor is the familiar face still with us in 2026. But the deeper story of Gunsmoke is not only about who is still living, it is about why these actors and actresses still matter after all this time. James Arness gave America a marshal who stood for quiet strength. Amanda Blake gave Dodge City grace, independence, and an unfinished love story fans still talk about. Burt Reynolds passed through Dodge City before becoming a movie star. Dennis Weaver gave Chester a walk and a voice no one forgot. Ken Curtis turned Festus into family. Milburn Stone made Doc Adams the conscience of the town. Glenn Strange made the Long Branch feel complete. Roger Ewing reminded fans how one young face could still be remembered decades later. And Buck Taylor remains a living connection to that old Western world. That is the real Gunsmoke then and now. It is not just about age, loss, or who passed away. It is about the television shows we grew up with, the actors we trusted, and the memories we shared with parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, and friends. Maybe you first watched Gunsmoke when it aired. Maybe you found it in reruns. Maybe someone in your family loved Matt Dillon, Miss Kitty, Doc, Chester, Festus, or Newly before you ever understood why. Which Gunsmoke cast member do you remember most clearly? And who do you think deserves to be remembered next? Share your memory in the comments. I read every reply because these then and now movie cast stories are really about the actors, actresses, and memories we grew up with. If you enjoyed this video, you can find more then and now stories in the description below. We make videos like this every day, bringing back the classic TV and movie memories many of us first shared with family. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.